We didn't really talk about our boy though, and I don't even know what to do with him. All right, I'm gonna play the video while we're up here. I don't even know what to do with this. Here's what I'm gonna say about Kyrie. He's boring. Okay, like this stuff is this nonsense here. And then we're gonna put it up on the screen. There it is in the upper window.
Oh wow!
Whatever he's doing with the Sage situation, huh? Yeah, I'm bringing it up there. It's freaking boring. Okay, whatever he's doing, he's out there on the court. He's burning freaking Sage. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah, I'm with you, John.
Listen,
I'm not entertained.
The thing about this is so like on brand for Kyrie. This is like exactly the type of shit that he would do before a game, to draw some attention to himself, but then not want to talk. I don't know if he's answered a question about it after the game, but it's exactly the type of shit that he does to make himself part of the story and then act like he doesn't want to be part of the story. And I'll tell you what, burning Sage, trying to like get rid of the bad vibes and all that stuff. Listen, if you're a guy who needs to burn Sage like everywhere you go, the chances are you're the bad vibe guy. Like the chances are you're the one bringing the bad vibes. If you feel you need to like make this place like a better vibe, like you're probably bringing the negative energy, buddy. And Kyrie just seems like that type of guy that he needs to do that at a lot of places that he goes. So I'm not surprised to see it. That being said, Banana Land move. I've never seen anything like that in my life. I've never seen that in my life. I've just never seen it. Maybe.
This is where it gets a little bit uncomfortable for me with him because, like, he toes the line when it comes to
Charles Barkley said it best. But go on, Bobby.
I didn't like what he said. Like the shut up.
I liked what he said. He didn't say shut up and dribble.
Look, he didn't say that though.
Yeah, that's different.
I thought he essentially did at the end.
No, what he said was, have a cause and you have a thing to say for social justice or movement, say it. The rest of this stuff is just friggin' baloney that you just say to act like you're smarter than people. You're not. You're just a guy. But he's basically saying the thing that makes you special is the fact that you do this. You're not on a different plane of like philosophical thinking is what he said. And you're right. It does toe the line because it is eerily reminiscent of the shut up and dribble shit that people were saying when they just wanted LeBron James, who was clearly.
But what was that about? That was about something else, John. That was about when LeBron James was speaking out. Exactly. He was speaking out about politics and things like that, and people didn't like that. What Kyrie's doing is
different. Yeah, exactly.
What Kyrie's doing is, putting himself on a pedestal, belittling others, just being a
I think he's
and calling himself an quote unquote artist
and pawns.
Like, dude, and what Charles Barkley said, like, listen, man, shut up and play basketball. Like, that doesn't mean like don't speak your mind on like social justice. It just means like stop coming off as like this like holier than thou human being. Like,
and that's
we're
where
just
I'm
trying
with
to
you
talk
guys.
Basketball here.
I'm with you guys on he warrants criticism, and that's what drove me crazy about the media thing. Like, it's not that you don't want to talk to the media. Like, I don't care about that aspect of it. It's the thinking that he's above criticism, whereas other teammates and other people in the room have to go out and answer questions after games about bad plays and what's going on in the room and everything else. This looked strange to me at first, but once I heard the whole story that he actually did this before the Brooklyn game at home in his first preseason game, and this does make sense when it comes to his Native American heritage and what he's been ramping up on that side of things. Like, I'm just not in this mode where I'm going to criticize Kyrie for every single thing he does. And the outrage online was just like through the roof. Like, why is he burning Sage in a building? They should throw him out the door. Like, this makes sense to me. Like, not everything Kyrie does forevermore is bad because he loves
Nobody's angry. It's just
there's lots of people in the world who have a lot of traditions in their lives and different things. And when I show up to work, I don't do those things. Like, he's never done it before. He doesn't do it all the time. Why now? What changed? What are you doing? What are we doing? Like,
well, I think this is fairly recent.
There's lots of stuff I like to do. I just don't do it everywhere, Like.
Right, like this is a Wendy's. Like, can you just order and like keep it moving?
This is a fairly recent discovery from too. So I just think there's some room for nuance here. Like, we've gone.
Would he do that with a bunch of freaking like 8-year-olds in the front row there, like coughing and wheezing?
That's a fair point, but there wasn't, and that's
like,
the context.
You can do this because you're in an empty building and it's a look at me sort of thing. But it's not like this thing that's going to be so important to him that he's going to like insist I have to do this religious freedom.
Might might do this every night. It might be the new LeBron powder clap before the game and the empty building.
Fine.
Yeah.
Fine. I was just gonna compare it somewhat to LeBron's thing, but LeBron's thing, like, it's at least somewhat practical. He puts the powder on his hands. He uses it for the game. Like, Kyrie Irving is bringing in some, like, whatever tradition you want to say, Native American or, hocus pocus, whatever you want to call it, burning sage. Clearly it's good for him. Maybe he does it before every game and we just notice it because, the cameras were running because it was his return or whatever. But the point is, like, it's just he always wants to do something to make something about him, but then make you feel like an idiot for bringing it up or talking about it. So that's one of my pet peeves with him. And I thought what Charles Barkley said was completely fine. It was not out of bounds. It was not towing the line of anything. He's saying, hey, listen, man, like, stop acting like you're Mozart or you're Michelangelo. Like, you're a basketball player. That's not to say, like, you're less of a human being, but, like, we're talking about basketball in most cases here. Like, this isn't a blank canvas and you're painting the court, like, with a paintbrush. Like, you're playing basketball. You're an athlete. That's great that you are. You're one of the best in all of the world. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But, like, let's talk basketball.
Barkley said, we're not teachers. You dribble a basketball. Stop acting like you're the smartest person in the world. Felt a little belittling.
That's how he comes off. That's how he comes off, though.
You don't think he comes off as he's belittling people? Have you ever called someone a pawn before?
Have you referred to anything you do in your life art? Anything, hey, whatever you're good at.
My liberal arts degree. That's it.
This isn't
Jokingly,
belittling
probably.
his talent. He's friggin' incredible at what he does. But, like, how pretentious you have to be to refer to anything in the world that you do as your art, if it's not actually art. You're playing a game. It's fun and you're good at it. That's great. Art, pawns, sage. Like, what are we doing? What level of lunacy have we ascended to?
Well, like,
I mean,
where do you toe the line?
There's a similar level of lunacy
where do you draw the line?
There's a similar level of lunacy to think that Sage was going to burn down TD Garden, though, the way people were talking about it.
Nobody in their right mind, actually. Nobody actually was upset with it. I mean, I'm Italian. Am I going to have...
That's a violation.
That's
Call the fire marshal.
I'm gonna have the Feast of St. Anthony come rolling through the TD Garden because I'm an Italian.
Right
I'm Marco Bellinelli. Like, what is this? You know what I mean? Like John said, like, you show up and you go to work. Like, we're trying to play a basketball game here, man. Like, it's not that serious.
That's where I think it borders.
Tatum, if I'm Jason Tatum, if I was that kind of leader, and hopefully he is, or maybe he'll bring this up at least to a few of his teammates. But, like, hey, he did that before the game. He went off on us. So did Kevin Durant. Let's make sure that doesn't happen.
They all hugged him. They were all hugging him before the game.
If I'm Jason Tatum, I'm going to tell my teammates that because everyone else is going to be like, I don't think they're the kind of teammates that are going to look at Jason Tatum and be like, why do you talk to that guy? I don't think that's the case, but I think it's obviously a level of respect. But if I'm Tatum, I'm turning around and saying, hey, I respect this guy. But at the same time, we need to, next time he comes here, we need to show him how good we really are. All right, this is preseason. Next time, we'll see what kind of team he'll see here at TD Garden. Like, you have to use it as motivation. I don't think what he did was disrespectful, but it's just like I think John said, it's just boring. Like, I'm not entertained right now, nor do I think this motivates his teammates. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is Kyrie trying to be the leader that he thinks everyone else wants him to be. I don't know.
It's not disrespectful. It's just as simple as you come off as a douche, like, way more than you should, man. And it's like it's really not more serious than that. Like, if you just feel like be normal, I guess. If there's such thing as being normal, but, like, just come off less, like, entitled and, like, high and mighty, and, like, people might actually, like, not try to look to criticize you so much.
I think you can criticize him for some things, and I think this moment and the Barkley moment went a little bit over the top to where this guy can just be blasted for anything and everything he does at this point, especially for, like, from our perspectives. It's going to be easy. It's always going to be easy forevermore.
I know, but that's the thing is you're not telling a guy to be quiet and keep your opinions to themselves. Barkley was just saying, don't be such a douche. That's all he was saying.
That's it. And honestly, that's a good life lesson in anything in life. Anybody watching, don't be such a douche.
Get over yourself. That's all he was saying.
Wait, because Charles has spoken out about a lot of political stuff. Obviously he's not one to tell an athlete that you can't speak up politically about things. I just think obviously Kyrie's approach is a little different than we're accustomed to seeing, athletes in the past address political issues.
Well, it's a different kind of statement too. I mean, people, like this one really rings differently to me too, and it is a recent development with him. The whole Native American heritage thing.
Oh
This
my
isn't
God,
something you
enough.
hear about
No,
as
it's
much.
not.
Like,
He did the Thanksgiving. He did the Thanksgiving thing before.
that was 2 years ago. That's not that long ago.
3, I think.
2.
Anyway,
And
Who
that,
cares?
yeah.
We
Two-
got
two
we
or
got
three.
Kyrie Irving. We got the Kyrie Irving PR team on the call with us.
No,
today.
I'm just I've never been since day one in his league. I've said this guy's overrated. So I'm not the biggest Kyrie Irving fan in the world. I just think sometimes we go to the extreme with this criticism of him.
No,
But
listen,
I mean, on the court tonight, he spoke. He made a statement in its own right. Like
exactly.
he's back. He's
You want
fresh.
the
He's
game?
healthy, and he meshed.